yes. Now, like I said from the beginning, many people are not living below, their potential because they are incapable. They are living below their potential because they have convinced themselves that they cannot become more than they currently are. And sometimes, the greatest limitation is not your background, it's not your finances, it's not the circumstances that you currently see yourself in. Sometimes the great limitation is actually in the way you actually see yourself. The truth about potential is that you are capable of more growth. You are capable of being more confident than you currently are. You're capable of healing yourself of the scars of the past, of the things that you've gone through, that you feel like are limiting you or controlling you. You're capable of being more courageous and taking the bull by the horns and doing those things that you're afraid of doing. You're capable of being more successful than you currently are. But the truth is that if your mind is always telling you that you can't, or that you're not enough, or that you're not ready, then and definitely you will continue to shrink yourself. So your mind shapes your life. Your life follows these three patterns. Number one, your dominant thoughts. What are those thoughts that are always come into your head to tell you that you're not good enough, you're not intelligent enough, you can't do that? Or maybe they are thoughts from your childhood that thoughts from your childhood that somebody said to you that has been at the back of your mind and limiting you from trying the things that you're supposed to try. The second thing is your belief system. Sometimes we tell ourselves we have stupid beliefs, honestly. Sometimes say, oh, I cannot do this thing in the morning, I can't wake up early, or I can't, I will just die if I do this one. But you find yourself doing that thing, but you have already limited yourself by saying, oh, okay, for example, you say, oh, I can't do business, I'm not a business person. You've not even tried. Would you help? Hey, my network is okay, fine. Okay, I think we're back. Network is back. So that belief system has held you and kept you hostage. Now, if you constantly think small, you will continue to play small. Have that in your head. If you constantly think that something is not possible, then that thing will not be possible. Even the Bible tells us that as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So whatever you think about yourself, that's what you're going to become. The Bible doesn't lie. So I want to stop shrinking yourself. Some of us stay quiet when we are supposed to be loud. I'm not saying loud in a brash way. You're supposed to say I can do this thing, but instead of you coming out, you go to the back and want somebody else to be the person to step forward because you have already told yourself that I cannot do this thing. Some of us, we see opportunities that we should take and run with, but we have convinced ourselves that it is not meant for us, and then the opportunity is knocking on your door, but you are just looking at it and you're not willing to grab it and run with it because you feel like it's not something that you should be doing. You don't want to be visible. You start to hide at the back. You start to when opportunities come for you to be visible, for them to push you in front, you rather be going back. The truth is that I tell people every time that for you to excel, you have to be seen. So when people are looking for somebody, for example, if you're a carpenter, nobody has ever seen your work, nobody knows you're a carpenter, and they're looking for a carpenter, even if you're the only carpenter in the place, and nobody knows you, and you're the best carpenter in, for example, Enugu, nobody will come and pick you. But if you're visible, when they look for a carpenter, they'll be like, oh, Aaron, remember, there's one carpenter somewhere. And because people are seeing you, you're talking about your work, you're showcasing it, you're taking pictures, you're doing this one, you may not be the best, but it's because you are visible, that's why they are going to pick you. Some of us start to dim our lights. It's not because you're not capable, but because you are afraid. You're afraid to fail. But what if you don't? You're afraid to be judged, and who cares? Who cares what other people think? The important thing is that you're doing what you're supposed to do. You are even afraid of that more that you want. You are looking at other people want to be there. You're even afraid of becoming more because you know that the responsibilities are going to increase, the things you need to do are going to be more. The truth is that confidence starts internally. You cannot consistently show confidence externally if you are fighting a battle with yourself inside. If you believe that you are small, if you believe that you're not worthy, if you believe that you're not capable. So being confident begins first in your mind. The way you think about yourself affects how you show up in this world. So recalibrate your mind. When you see something is impossible, it's often a mindset. Like I tell myself all the time, when I have a challenge, I tell myself just impossible is nothing. It's not something in my vocabulary. So in my family, in my house, our slogan is the Ogos never give up. So we don't give up. You give me a task and I'm like, let's do this thing, we can do it. Even before I know how I'm going to achieve it. And somehow things always align and work together for me to be able to achieve it. So what feels impossible to you may already be normal for someone else. Have you thought of that? Anything that you think that it cannot happen for you, how did the other person get it? Really? There is somebody that is in your same situation that has achieved that thing that you think that you cannot achieve. So why would you limit yourself? Because the only difference between you and that person, because their mindset has expanded, enough to take that opportunity. Their mindset expanded enough before their life actually expanded to meet that opportunity. So many things become possible the moment you believe they are possible. As simple as that. The Bible also tells that in Philippians 4:13 that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So there's nothing you cannot do. Bible does not lie. I know my Bible doesn't lie. So there's nothing, absolutely nothing you cannot do. It's just for you to remind yourself that you can do it. God says you can do it. You go forth and you do it. Let's be honest. Let's talk about money and confidence and how it affects confidence. So money affects confidence for many people. You don't have money, you're feeling broke. You now feel like you're not supposed to be in a certain space. Some people actually feel invisible when they don't have money. Some people feel inferior. When they are struggling financially, they start to fight themselves. And everything somebody says, they misinterpret it. It's because, you're talking to me like this because, I don't have money. That stuff like that. But the truth is that true confidence cannot depend on only money. Because if your identity depends on, only external things, you will never truly feel enough. So I enjoy you today to renew your mind. Because the Bible says to be transformed by the renewing of our mind. Oh God, that is too much. If you don't read Bible, why? Because there's every aspect of life has been covered there. Because if you want a different life, if you want things to be better for you, you can't achieve it if you're still thinking and acting in the old ways. You can't get to where you want to go to if your mind is still stuck in the beliefs that got you to where you currently are. The truth is that your life now is a culmination of your belief systems and the thoughts that you had in the past. So if you want to change it, you have to do something different. You have to start to heal yourself and start to find ways to think differently, to cancel those limiting beliefs that don't let you go forward. You need to have, if you want to be more confident, you have to believe that you can be. If you want to access bigger opportunities, you have to open your mind to the possibility that you can even get them. Because if you don't see the possibility, you can't get it. You understand? You must first change the way you think before you can grow higher than the level you currently are. As simple as that. Let's use Gideon for example. Gideon in the Bible. In the Bible, he saw himself as weak and insignificant. But the thing is that God called him mighty man of valor. So he was seeing himself in one way, but God was already seeing him in a different way. So how do you see yourself? What do you say about yourself? What do you call yourself? You tell yourself, I'm timid. You give yourself those labels that make you justify your timidity. justify not, sometimes we tell ourselves these things, we are shy, we are this, we are that, to justify, the decisions that we make. The truth is that we choose to be that way. That's the truth. Don't believe anybody is born to shrink. It's circumstances around you that make you start to act a certain kind of way. I used to say I was shy. I used to be shy. I used to pride myself in, oh, I'm a quiet person, I'm shy, I'm this. And look at me now. I'm not shy at all. I can never, my me now is not the same me before. But I'm still the same person. But what changed? I changed the way I thought about myself. I did the work I needed to do. I started seeing myself as the great person God says that I am. So the truth is that from the story of Gideon, before he could win externally, he had to change his mindset and had to start seeing himself in the way God was seeing him. That was the only way he could have gone into battle and done the things that he did. So what are ways that you can expand your mindset? Books. Oh God. Read books that challenge your thinking. Someone says it's background noise. I think it's raining, so I think that's the problem I'm having. Network is a bit poor, so please, don't mind the noise in the background. I think it's the rain. It's raining where I am right now, so sorry for the noise. But can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me at all? Because okay, let me see if it will get better. I think it's the rain. Noise. But can you hear me? Okay, I think it's the rain that is causing it. Can you hear me at all? Okay, thank you, Isonye, for the feedback. I appreciate it. Okay, now what are ways we can expand our mindset? One, I said, is to read books that challenge the way you think. Books. I can't emphasize the importance of reading books. Since I started reading books, that's changed the way I think about myself, the way I see things. And sometimes you may read a book and you may have even forgotten what was in the book, but one day when the challenge arises, you just see yourself acting in accordance to what you read in the book. It just springs out and but I passed the last exam. I know how to cook very well. People say I cook well. Yeah, even if I'm not intelligent in maybe, for example, math, but I'm a great cook, so I'm intelligent in that side. So always find something to counteract that voice in your head that keeps telling you that you're not enough. Yeah, speak positively about yourself. Say affirmations. I can't emphasize the power of affirmations. Say affirmations, say them to yourself all the time, and just, can you hear me? Okay, I think network is bad, but anyway, say affirmations to yourself, write them down, and stop putting yourself down. There was time I noticed that sometimes you feel you direct people to the flaws that you have. They do not see it. You direct people to the flaws that you think you have. Something that somebody may have been admiring for, and you'll be like, oh, no, I'm just adding weight. Who asked you? You'll be surprised the person did not even notice. You're like, I don't mind this, my big stomach. They did not ask you. The person you're talking to may have not even noticed it, but you are the person directing the person to you. So you are speaking negatively about yourself and drawing people to actually see that thing. Some of us do that, and it stems from our own insecurities. So another thing you can do is to spend time with growth-minded people. If you're in a circle where they're always complaining, where they're always looking at the bad part of things, then almost run away. Because very soon, even if you're a positive minded person or you're growing, they are going to drag you down. It's easier to, drag somebody down than lift the person up from the ground. Yes, I did not say you should not say hello, hi, and all, but they shouldn't be the people you take your problems to. They shouldn't be people you talk to. They should be people that are planning to, be higher than you. Those are the people that you should surround yourself with. Another thing you can do to expand your mindset is to try things that scare you. That thing that you feel like you cannot do, that should be the thing you should be doing. That thing that scares you so much that you're afraid of even trying it, find yourself there. That should be what you're doing. Move and do it. You can, yes, you can. And until something is challenging enough that it scares you, you will never actually reach the potential that you should reach. You won't even know how strong you are until you do that thing, and you either do it well or fail at it. And when even you fail at it, you would have learned a valuable lesson that you would have missed if you had not tried. Have you thought about it that way? Even if you fail at that dream that you have, that thing that you want to do that scares you, you'd have learned what not to do and be able to repair it later. So try things that scare you. Pray and renew your mind daily. Be conscious of doing that. So join me as we say affirmations for the week. Say with me, I am capable of more. I reject limiting beliefs. I deserve to take up space. I can do hard things. Impossible is nothing. That's my motto. My confidence is growing daily. I am becoming the best version of myself. So let me give you a challenge for the week. This week, ask yourself, where in my life have I been shrinking myself? Then challenge yourself to speak up, even when your spirit is telling you don't talk. Hide. Challenge yourself to show up, even when you're tempted not to. Challenge yourself to try that thing again. Think bigger, believe bigger, and challenge yourself to move boldly. Because the truth is that you are far more capable than you think. You do not need to become a completely different person to grow. But sometimes you simply need to believe differently about yourself. You are more capable than you think, and you truly can grow truly from inside out. Thank you for joining me today. Sorry for all the glitches. I'm Dr. Chimsom Ogu, your skin and confidence doctor, helping you grow from inside out. Please like, follow, and share. And I have a new series on my channel, a skin story series. Go watch it and tell me what you think. Have a great week. Bye bye.